Good everyone, and welcome back to Fresh Drop. Hope you are enjoying your day. Today we are going to be looking at the topic quadratic equation. I taught you about simple equation, but today we are going to be learning about quadratic equation. Before we start, please, I will advise that you subscribe to this channel. If you have subscribed, good job. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I really appreciate. And like our page on Facebook so you can learn more from that side of the social media. Thank you. So now let's continue this topic. Now, quadratic equation. Now, when we did the simple equation, I told you what an equation is. That an equation is a mathematical expression which has the mark equal to the equality mark. Any expression that contains that equality mark in mathematics is an equation, meaning two things are equal. But there are different types of equations. I taught you about simple equations, so today we are going to be doing quadratic equations. And for quadratic equations, they usually come with this format. You can have a equation like this. I don't know if you have seen any equation like this before, but this is how quadratic equation usually comes, in this kind of format. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to solve quadratic equation using factorization method. So you just stay with us till the end of the video. So now we are going to be using factorization to solve quadratic equation today, and we are going to be checking on three cases. And we'll go to case 1 immediately. Now this is case 1, where you have a question like this. Now you have a question like this. They said x squared plus 4x is equal to 0. You have x squared plus 4x equal to 0. Now, like I told you, are going to factorize. So what is factorization? Factorization means bringing out what is similar in these two numbers here, or in these two things. Bringing out what is similar. What can divide both things? You are going to bring it out. If there is nothing similar, then there is nothing to factorize. So now this is what we are going to check. What is here and is also present here is x. X is in x squared and x is also in 4x. So by factorizing, we are going to get something like this. Now you see that we have successfully factorized this expression here, because x times x is x squared plus x times 4 is 4x. So x divided by x squared is x divided by 4x is 4. So the one, what can divide both of this expression, that is what we bring out. That is how to factorize. So we factorize it out, and note, in quadratic equation you have the two answers. In quadratic equation you always have two answers, unlike simple equation where you have one. In quadratic equation you have two answers, and we are going to be seeing how we get our two answers from each and every case here. So let's continue case 1. After factorizing, this is what you do. You have two expressions which you have to divide. The first one here is x. What you are going to have is x is equal to 0. That is your first expression. This x equal to 0. Now for your second expression, or this one here, it's your second expression, which is x plus 4 is equal to 0. Can I say it? X plus 4 is equal to 0. That's your second expression. And if you check this question is already complete. This one here is already complete, this case, which is x equal to 0. There's nothing to solve there again. So your first answer is 0. Now for your second answer, you see x plus 4 equal to 0, and they said find x. Our aim is to find x in this question. Now, I taught you in collection of like terms, this here is a simple equation. I taught you on how to solve this one in this simple equation. So if you don't know simple equation, please, I advise you watch that. You will need the knowledge in solving quadratic equation. Now you simply collect like terms to be x equal to, if 4 goes here, it will be minus 4. So this is simply your answer. So what will now be your final answer? X is equal to 0 or minus 4. So x is equal to 0 or minus 4. That's the answer to this first question. So in quadratic equation, you can get or see questions that comes in this form. This is for case 1. Now let me quickly show you case 2. Now, for case 2, you can have questions like this. For case 2, you can have questions like this. X squared minus 4 equal to 0. X squared minus 4 equal to 0. Now, to solve questions like this, you cannot factorize anything out because there is nothing similar. You cannot factorize anything out because there's nothing similar. So what you use in factorizing here, or what you use to arrange this expression in a way that you can solve it, you use difference of two squares. You use difference of two squares. Now using the difference of two squares here, what will you do? First of all, you see this is a square, x squared, but 4 is not a square. 4 is not a square. So what will you do first? You will turn 4 into a square. Now if you check, which number will you square that will give you 4? If you try 3 square, it's equal to 9. It's not 4. So you can't use 3 square here. If you try 2 square, it's equal to 4. So meaning 4 and 2 square, they are the same thing. So instead of you to write 4 here, you just write 2 square. Your new equation will now be x square minus 2 square equal to 0. X square minus 2 square equal to 0. So now you can now use difference of two squares here. So the difference of two squares, this is how you arrange it. This is x squared and this is 2 squared. So you simply write x plus 2, one bracket, then open another bracket, x minus 2. X plus 2, bracket close, open bracket, another one, x minus 2. This is how you solve difference of two squares. Difference of two squares, that means the equation must have minus in between. When it is positive, you can't use this formula to solve. But when it is negative, that's why it is difference. Negative, then you use this format. Now, like I said before, you must have two answers. So what do you simply do? You equate this to 0 and you equate this other one to 0. As simple as that. So for your first equation, you have the first bracket, x plus 2 is equal to 0. Or for your second answer, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So now for your first answer, x plus 2 equal to 0. When you collect like term, x will be equal to minus 2. As easy as that. Or for the second expression here, or equation, x, when you collect like terms, x minus 2 moves to the right side, it becomes plus 2. So x is either minus 2 or x is plus 2. So for your final answer, you have x equal to minus 2 or plus 2. So this is for the second case. You see how we solve this equation for the second case. This, for the first one, there was x here, so that you can easily factorize x out. But for this one, there's no x, so you simply take difference of two squares and just solve. So now I'll be showing you the third case here. I'll be showing you the third case, or the third type of quadratic equation in which you will see. Now, you have a question like this. You have a question like this. Now you have a question like this. X squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. X squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now what do you do here? This is actually different from the other ones we have been doing. So this is what you simply do. You multiply to factorize this. You multiply 6 by x squared. You multiply 6 by x squared. Now 6 times x squared is 6x squared. 6x squared. Note, if there was 2 here, 6 will multiply 2. But you know, for every letter without a number, it is 1 that's here. So 6 times this one is 6x squared. If it was 3 at the front here, maybe there was 3 at the front here, 6 will times 3, which will make it 18x squared. You understand? But now there's no number there, which makes it 1. 6 times 1 is 6x squared. So now we are going to put this our 5x down. This is our 5x. Now this is what we are going to do. This is the most crucial one. And this is what we are going to do. You are going to pay attention. 6x squared. We are going to look for two numbers, which if you times the two numbers, it will give you 6x squared. And when you plus the two numbers, it will give you 5x. Note, if you multiply the two numbers, it will give you 6x squared. And when you subtract, when you add them, it will give you 5x. Now, you find it. What will be your numbers? It will be 3x times 2x. And these same numbers, 3x plus 2x. Now, if you check, we are using the same numbers. You must use the same numbers. Now, if you check, 3x times 2x will give you 6x plus. While 3x plus 2x will give you 5x. You see that? 3x plus 2x will give you 5x. So, it's as easy as that. So, you must look for the same number. Then when you multiply them, it gives you 6x plus. And when you add them, it will give you 5x. And don't forget how we got our 6x squared. By timesing 6 with this x squared. Don't use only x squared. Don't use only 6. You must multiply 6 with x squared. So now, let's continue. This is the aim of doing this. Why we did this is to change this 5x squared to 3x plus 2x. 5x squared. 5 can be 4 plus 1. 5 can be 2 plus 3. But now, what is the appropriate one we must use for this question? That is why we use this thing to look for it. 3x plus 2x. Because we are about to remove 5x and fix this. So our new equation will be x squared plus this 5x. We change it to this. 3 plus 2 is the same thing as 5. So we are changing this 5x to this. You understand? We are removing this and putting this. So it will now be 3x plus 2x, then plus your 6 equal to 0. This is your equation, your new equation. You simply remove this 5x and put this 3x plus 2x. This is your 6x squared. You are not putting it in your equation. You write your original equation and change this your 5x. Put 3x plus 2x. You understand? And now you are going to take brackets for these two sides. You share this into one bracket and you share this one into another bracket. You share this side into one bracket and you share this side into another bracket. So now this is what you do. You are going to factorize now. At this point you are going to factorize. Now, let's factorize this first part. I showed you how to factorize in the first case that we did. So, let's factorize now. X, so what is present? You can see x is common. X is here and x is here. So, when you bring out x divided by x squared is x, plus x divided 3x is 3. That's our first one. Then, what is common here? What is present? We can factorize 2 out. 2 is common between these two, but x is not common. X is not common, but 2 is common. So when we bring 2 out, it will be 2 here, brackets. 2 divided 2x is x, plus 2 divided 6 is 3. Now we have gotten here. At this point, this is where you will know if what you have been solving is correct or not. When you look at these two equations, the two brackets are the same. The two brackets are the same. This is where you will know if what you have been solving has been correct or not. When it is not correct, you will see maybe here will be x plus 3, here will be x minus 3. It must be the same. Now you see here is x plus 3, x plus 3. To show you what you have been solving is correct. And now you are going to continue like this. These two brackets, you pick one. X plus 3. Keep following the steps. These two brackets, you pick one, x plus 3. Now, this is x and plus 2. I told you before in one of my previous videos, when you see a number that nothing is written in the front, it is plus, positive number. Don't write x minus 2. This is not minus 2, this is a positive number. So this x plus 2 outside, you put it in another bracket. Remember, we have picked one of these brackets here. One of these brackets, you pick only one, x plus 3. Now, these two outside that you factorized, x and 2 that you factorized, you put them in one bracket, which is x plus 2. I told you the 2 is positive, so it's plus 2, not minus 2. Then equal to your 0. So this is where you get your final answer. This is where you look for your final answer. Now, we will equate the first bracket to 0 and equate the second bracket to 0. Equate the first bracket to 0 and equate the second bracket to 0. Just the way we did the second case. So now the first bracket is x plus 3 equal to 0. Or the second bracket is x plus 2 equal to 0. Now, let's finish this. If x plus 3 is equal to 0, now what is x? Just the way I taught you in a simple equation, you move this one to this side, it will be x equal to minus 3. So now your x is minus 3. Now for this one, to find your x, you simply collect like them. X will now be equal to minus 2. Now what is your final answer? X is equal to minus 3 or equal to minus 2. Now that's your two answer for this quadratic equation. So it's as easy as that. Now you see how we solved with this. This is one, or this is the major question. This is the type of question they usually bring in quadratic equation. For case 1 and case 2, you might hardly see them, but this is mainly common. You will see most of this question, and you have to remember every of the step. Don't get to this part and then equate it to 0. No, it is at this point that you equate to 0. Well, I hope you understood the steps here. Well, in case you don't, you can drop your questions in the comment box. I will attend to them. And in case you need more examples too, you can tell me in the comment box. Well, thanks for watching this video, and also subscribe to this channel so you can learn more. I appreciate it. Thank you. And also like our page on Facebook, like the video, share it to get more information. Thank you very much, and God bless you.